Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. We're now 3 weeks away from release of Monster Hunter World, and Capcom, and I've been talking about this on Twitter a lot, they did their final live stream event for Monster Hunter World news today in Japan, on the internet, live everywhere, and man, they did not disappoint. We got a final trailer, we got tons of news, some more gameplay showing off some of the online features that we couldn't really see in the beta, and just a whole bunch. I mean, I don't even know where to start. So we're going to start exactly where they did, and they actually started with a brand new launch trailer called the Elder Dragons trailer, because of course the story focuses on the Elder Dragons, which for those of you who are new to Monster Hunter, those are the big bad boys in the series, their migration to this new world or continent. Anyways, let's check out the trailer. I'll put the link for the official trailer in the description down below. Let's check out all the cool goodies. The trailer it just cuts all the BS and goes straight to Teostra and Kushala Daora, which are the big bad boys for Fire Blast and Wind Ice. So here we see, obviously, man, Teo looks cool, and Kushala, and that kicks things off. New final trailer just started wrapping up all the stuff that we've seen in the past, which is all the major characters, all the new moves, it covers all the monsters. This is a great recap trailer of everything, and even has some new secrets in it as well. So here we have Diablos, which of course we saw in the beta. Some nice shots of the Coral Highlands and Legiana, who is the master of that area. Then the Rotten Vale coming up here with, you know, the doggy I hate, which is the flesh dog Odogaron. Big punk, leave Paolum alone. And we see a brand new monster. Let's check that out one more time. So hey, if Uragaan can get an ugly cousin, so can Tetsukabra. So this is a brand new monster. It looks very much like the toad-like creature Tetsukabra from past games. I do like inside of its jaws though, we see a hint that this could be a mid-tier blast monster. A blast being of course an element in the game, which I'm addicted to. Then we got all our other favorite monsters, all looking great. Paolumu, my boy. Anjanath. And then this thing, the new zombie monster. Who knows what this thing is called, but it looks crazy. Something straight out of a horror movie, and we can obviously see it doing sort of a blight downstairs where it's using that sort of gas from the Rotten Vale to poison the hunter. Cool shot going up against Kushala in the air, and the wind blast throwing the hunter away, and Teostra with its blast. It's back, baby. Look at those effects, doesn't it look great? I love how they essentially did what we thought they were going to do, which is combine sort of a colder, icy type place and a volcanic hot place all in one. I'm not sure what this new map is, but we can tell upstairs with obviously the weird rock formations, we've got Kushala, which is a cold monster, and then we've got downstairs the magma and sort of the sea, and there is where Teostra is. So I love it. It looks like they're combining it all into one area, which is exactly what they need to do in order to achieve this next awesome scene, which is two Elder Dragons going at it. That is so cool. Here we get some nice, cutscene stuff. Who knows what they're talking about? We'll understand once we get to play the game, of course. Obviously a big mystery surrounding the Elder Dragons. Very interested to find out where that's going to take us. All the fleets working together. Good on you guys. You know he's a bad boy when he's like, where's my Dragonator? Who says that, right? Dragonators are huge spikes that are meant to like pierce and kill Elder Dragons. So like, you don't lose one. Here we get to see a showcase of lots of new moves for all the weapons. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't know, but we have well, I'll spoil it right now for you, but we have a third beta coming up, which we'll cover in this video. So we'll be able to check all these out. Like that move right there, I was not aware of. That is pretty sweet. And then we have all the cats. This is awesome. Watch this. Teostra versus Nergigante. Let me know down in comments below who you think is going to win that one. Then it wasn't until later in the event, but they appended it to the trailer, but we got our first video for the first DLC, which is going to be free in spring 2018, which is Deviljho. Now, you guys who are new to this series, Deviljho is consistently the most savage, the most crazy, the most monstery type monster in the entire universe of Monster Hunter. It is going to be unbelievably challenging to take down, and its armor is going to be great. Like, I can't wait. They've said several times they're going to be doing more than a few different free updates, which will include new monsters and things to look forward to. So this will be the one that kicks it all off. Great choice. So what do you think? We got Teostra, which is the king of fire and blast. We got him going up against Nergigante, Elder Dragon, Turf War. We got this new weird toad-like monster, which looks blast-like. We got Zombie Dragon, which looks amazing. Come on. Shot of Daora, I know a lot of you guys are a fan of that dragon as well. Then we got another cool shot of Nergigante and some cool gameplay. And we even got a new key visual because they wanted to show off that there's going to be Elder Dragons versus Elder Dragons. This is a big deal. These guys are usually just off on their own during Monster Hunter games. They never interact with each other. So to see the Elder Dragons coming together and then fighting, that's a big deal. That is going to get a lot of series veterans really excited. And then they decided to do an on-stage demo showing off some of the stuff that they've never shown off before, especially the stuff that we didn't get to see in the betas because a lot of people were either unhappy with the way the beta did it or were unsure how it works. So the first thing they decided to show off was the login bonus, and what I really love about this, which they explained, was you can hold up to 5 days worth of login bonuses that you can get because they understand that some people, because of work, especially in Japan, you may not be able to play Monday through Friday and you can only play on Friday night and then Saturday and Sunday. The login bonuses stack for 5 days, meaning that you can get an entire 5 days worth as long as you go and you play. So this is an incentive to go and play at least once every 5 days. But come on, we're going to be playing this every day, right? One of the things they were explaining that you get as a login bonus is one of the rare tickets. The rare tickets are an item that you can use before a quest that can either increase the amount of Zenny, or the money that you get, or it may add an extra slot or two of how many items you can get for clearing the quest. So these are good items. These are a really good reason to log in. You're not guaranteed to get anything. I mean, Desire Sensor is there, so she may stop you from getting something good, but it's definitely a nice bonus that I think is going to be worth it, much better than like a potion or something like that. So hats off to them for actually giving an interesting bonus and for understanding that working people may not be able to go in every day, so they're not going to punish us. As long as we log in within 5 days, we get the whole loot. So very cool move by Capcom. Okay, now they wanted to show off the online hub and how squads work. And squads are awesome because you can be in a group of like 50 people and you can be in more than one group. So for all your Discord communities, your Twitter communities, your Reddit communities, you guys can all have different squads that you can be a part of, and you can easily go online and look for an online hub of someone who's in your squad, which is exactly what he's going to do here. He's going to go to the quest girl. I must say I love the sort of like beer things there on the desk, and I love her outfit. All of it just looking really good. He's going to this third option, which is to look for a squad member. Obviously, they had people in the development studio on standby for this live event who are all online, so he went and joined them. And I gotta say, man, the online hub is looking amazing. Much better than I thought it would. And boom, look at this, 16 players in the hub, and you also got your cats there as well, so you can check out what everybody's wearing. Very cool, everyone's very active, lots of emotes that you can do. One funny thing that they mentioned was that Tsujimoto-san always calls his cat Fujioka, which is the name of course, Fujioka-san, who he was playing with on stage. So it got a little confusing, but I thought that was kind of cute. And it shows, I guess, kind of like the bond and friendship that those two have, that he always calls his cat in every game Fujioka. So here they're going to show off arm wrestling. If you're not familiar with this, on online hubs, there's always been arm wrestling, this little game where you just jam a button, and it's just a fun way to break the ice with people that you've never met before, a way to kill time, and it's just fun. I mean, it just really is, because everyone around can watch and cheer on. They took it out of the last game, and that was really disappointing for a lot of us. Again, this is just a very fun way to interact with people. I mean, especially when you're going into a global room with people that may not even speak your language. Just go up, throw down, and say, hey, let's do some arm wrestling. It immediately tells them that you are just a lighthearted, fun hunter. You're not over serious, and hey, let's go have a fun time. Do a few funny emotes, and you guys are best friends and are ready to go. And talk about real world building, check this out. Because they're upstairs, when you order food, it comes from downstairs. So everything is connected. And they've actually done all the animations to really make it feel connected. That is cool. And that looks so good. Now, they did decide to take quite a lot of time actually to explain that you can send your guild card to everybody, which is just sort of like your personalized card where you can pose yourself, have a background, tells you about your weapon usage, who you've killed. Like, it's a cool sort of report card for a hunter. So of course they're going to have this in this game, and it's kind of nice to see that they've done a lot of visual upgrades, and it's going to look really cool. So they were going to show us a quest which was against Tobi Kadachi, but it's actually a story quest. Story quest, no longer do you have to go online and find out which quest is going to advance the game. There's a special category now, so if you do those, you'll advance the story. So easy done, no more key quests, no weird system, you know what you have to do. Now the thing though is when you do a story quest, there's a cutscene in the beginning of it, or like when you encounter the monster. So you have to start it solo. After you do get through that cutscene, then you can then invite other players in to join you. Here's everybody waving him goodbye. I thought that was really funny. So he's going to go in and show us the initial cutscene for Tobi Kadachi. Rest assured, of course, if you just want to hunt a specific monster, you don't have to do story quests. You can just go into the free hunts and do it with people straight from the get-go. So it's not always that you have to start the quest solo, it's just for the story ones. And of course, they were reminding everybody that when you start a quest solo, the difficulty is set to solo, and the moment you call in another player, it switches to multiplayer difficulty, which of course will increase the health and everything of the monster that you're hunting, just so the quests don't, finish right away. Now, one thing I absolutely love is they're showing you the hub and they're showing you someone on a quest. The time of day is persistent across everything. So it's not like you have one instance and it's different from the quest, it's different from the hub. Everything's connected, so whether you're out on a map doing an expedition, sort of like free hunt, or if you're on a quest, or if you're back in the town, night and day persist across all of them. So if it's nighttime and you start the quest, it'll start at nighttime in the actual quest. Personally, I find that incredibly cool, and I think all of those little details, I think, make it feel like a coherent, connected world. So yeah, that's why they call it Monster Hunter World, right? Okay, so player at the top is using his scouting bugs to track down Tobi Kadachi, and then we get to see how intros to monsters are done. And I'm happy to say it's seamless and looks just like Monster Hunter 4U, which is awesome because the equipment that you have in your hunter's face that you worked hard on, all of that is reflected. Of course, this is the benefit of having cinematics done in real time versus pre-rendering, which is expensive and tough to do, but you know what? I think they did a great job. It looks cinematic. I really like it. This thing looks like a small, Dalamander. And we get Tobi Kadachi on the upper left there, and boom, seamless right into gameplay. You can't get more immersive than that, right? Nothing takes you out of the game. That is sweet. And from this moment, he's now able to call in other hunters to help him out because he's seen the story cutscene. I imagine with some quests, the cutscene may be longer, maybe at the very beginning. But yeah, it's cool. So once you see the story so no one is spoiled, they can come in to join you. Now, one thing they were mentioning is not only can you send a sort of distress signal to get help from people that are in your current hub, you can even, if you want to, send out a signal to get help from anybody. So let's say you're in a 16-player hub town online and you want to get help from anybody and someone from your hub isn't coming, you can just put out a general distress signal and someone in a completely different hub can go look for it, find the quest, join it, help you out, and at the end of it, everybody goes back to their hub town. That's really cool, and that solves a lot of those issues where maybe you can't find players who want to join you, or maybe everyone else is on a quest. But you can give priority to those that you're with, and then you can open it up for more people. They did remind everybody that you get full rewards if you join a quest that is under 10 minutes in progression. But if you join a quest that has already been 10 minutes since they started, obviously it's going to be pretty much easier for you because you're not going to do as much hunting, so you're going to get limited quest rewards. But that being said, for any parts broken and all those bonus parts, you still get. So I can definitely see some friends helping other ones, saying like, hey, you guys need Diablo's horns? Come join me right now. It's been 15 minutes, but I already have both of them broken. Come on in and get your bonus. Fun ways, I think, for players to help each other and interact. But I love the idea of being able to jump in and jump out of multiplayer, especially if you have someone with a bad connection and they accidentally get dropped. They can join back in, and I think that's really good. Now, I'm not going to show off the entire hunt. I will put a link for that stream down in the description down below, but it was a pretty cool hunt. Definitely like seeing Tobi Kadachi. I know it's an early monster in the game, I believe, but it still looks pretty fun. Here we go with the rewards screen, which I don't think we got to see up till now. Lots of bonuses, lots of things going on, and of course, the sort of report cards letting you know what every player did. And it seems like there's a huge variation, so it's not just like damage dealer of the game or defense healer of the game. We got stuff like, this guy on the left hid twice. We got someone who's inflicted status ailments twice. We've got the track collector who's found 10 different sort of tracking marks for the monster. We got someone who's used Slinger 10 times, so it's only giving you good stats so that you know that everybody has been participating in the hunt and they've done things that are interesting. I like it. It lets you know what people have been doing, but in a way that's not gonna, I guess, boast for people to go, hey, you weren't dealing enough damage, man, what's going on? So, props to Capcom for doing that right. Okay, and after they did the on-stage gameplay, which again was awesome, you should check it out, they went to news. First thing they did was announce that there's going to be a third beta, January 19th to January 22nd. This is from 11 o'clock in the afternoon to 11 o'clock in the afternoon in Japan. So slightly different times zones than the last demo, so be aware of that. It's just like the second demo, so you do not have to be a PlayStation Plus member, you just need to have a PlayStation 4. We have the Great Jagras, we have Barroth and Anjanath, and of course they even confirmed that Pukei-Pukei and Kuluyaku will appear under certain conditions in the demo as well. But as a huge surprise, they also announced that Nergigante is going to be added to this demo as well. They did mention that for this one they wanted to make it really severe. So they said he's harder than he is in the actual like retail game, and you only get 15 minutes to do it, where all the other monsters, I think it was 20. So they said this is going to be a really tough one, but they wanted to give a really big challenge to hunters that are really thirsty for a challenge. And if you beat Nergigante, you still get an additional sort of item pack of freebies that you get if you beat all the other quests as well. So you can earn up to 4 item packs. So get on, play this game. If you love it, pre-order it, buy it digitally, go to a store. I don't know. I can't wait to see you guys online. And I feel kind of bad. It kind of sucks that they didn't have the Xbox One version, a beta. But this is only a few days before the game releases, so at least we have comfort that, you know, once this beta is done, we can all buy the game and have fun. Next, they announced that they were going to do a new PlayStation 4 bundle for Monster Hunter World in Japan. I think this was a good idea. It's a starter pack. It's much cheaper to buy this starter pack than to buy a PlayStation 4 and Monster Hunter World together. So it's actually a really good deal. So in Japan, I'm hoping this will help explode sort of PS4 sales, which have been lagging compared to the West, but recently have been, you know, picking up quite a bit. Also for Japan, they announced in limited quantity they will be selling the limited edition Monster Hunter World Rathalos Edition controller. This is the one that came with that limited edition that I got, so that's cool for those who wanted that. And then we had Yamada-san, who's a very famous actor here in Japan. He is starring in the current commercial that's airing in Japan for Monster Hunter World, and it is such a good and hilarious and awesome commercial. I even fan subbed it, so I'll put a link for it in the description down below to my Twitter, where I did a fan sub of the commercial. I would have put it here, but it's a Sony commercial. I don't want to get hit with copyright, so watch it. It is amazing. It's short. You'll love it. But Yamada-san was on here to talk about, you know, hey, the game's coming out. And they actually did a second commercial, which he thinks is even better than the first one. And that's going to be airing a little bit before the game releases. So look forward to that. I'll fan sub it and put it on Twitter as well. Then pretty standard in Japan, they always do a credit card every time there's a new Monster Hunter game. So we have 2 designs for credit cards. I love the feline one, so I might actually apply for it just for the credit card. I don't know if they'll give it to me because in Japan they're a little iffy about giving credit cards to foreigners no matter how long you've lived here. But hey, I gotta try, right? And then they announced like a new headphone and keyboard thing. Cool thing there, if you look on the middle, is they use the Monster Hunter font for all the keys. Kinda want it, but I have a good keyboard already, so I probably won't buy it, but it's looking pretty darn good. Then they announced some of the more outdoor advertising they're going to be doing in Tokyo, so I'm definitely going to hit all these and I'll put them on my Twitter. I'll take pictures and perhaps video. I won't make a video on YouTube about them because they're never that big of a deal, but they're pretty cool. So in Shinjuku Station, in the promenade for the metro, they're going to have a huge thing against the wall where they'll have sort of like an encyclopedia about the monsters, the ecology, and everything. I don't imagine we're going to see anything new, but it should be pretty neat to see, and I do pass that station when I go home from work. So, you know, I will stop by there and I will take some pictures and I will share them on my Twitter. So follow me there if you haven't already. Then on Amoeba TV, which is kind of like a broadcast service that's free here in Japan, they're going to have a Monster Hunter World test, an exam. And apparently if you can answer all the questions and do good, you have a chance to win something. That's going to be from January 15th, so I'll probably also do that on Twitter. I'll share with you guys all the questions, So although you can't win a prize, you can at least have fun taking part in the questions. I think it'll be really fun. Then they talked again about the Universal Studio Japan promotion. Of course, this is only for Japan, but for those who actually get to go to the event, they do get a download code for the PlayStation Network in Japan, which gives them the ability to post a specific quest that is Universal Studios Japan Quest, which can give you rewards that you can use to make special longswords and also armor. But this is just to post it, so I'm sure there's going to be people who go to Universal Studios Japan, get the right to post the quest, and then open it up for an entire hall of people to join in. So this is a really great way, I think, for mixing in Western players with Japanese players. Usually, typically here in Japan, people are very generous. People who go to Universal Studios, they generally open up rooms and say, hey, anybody who wants to join me, come on in. So hopefully we'll be able to hook up with a bunch of random people and get that armor. They did mention on the stream, though, that the weapon has very long green sharpness, which is a very good but beginner weapon, and the armor has defensive skills, so they're really aiming it, I think, for people who are starting out. But unlike all the other Universal Studio Japan ones, when they do the second event sort of DLC, that'll be, I think, in April. That'll give you the ability to upgrade those weapons and armor to something that is much more suitable for the end game. So probably too late for all of us, but just know that if you're not able to go to Universal Studios or find somebody, you're not missing out on a whole bunch until like April when they release the really good quest with the upgrades. Then finally they announced they're going to do something like a Monster Hunter Festa for Monster Hunter World. What that is, and I've done a video on it before, is a full stage event where they do a time attack, 2-man teams against 2-man teams, and the best hunters win. And then they live stream the final like championship. They're going to do it like esports this year, so all the regionals are going to be live streamed. You'll be able to see all of them, and there's only one bracket, which is called Monster Hunter King. Up until now, they've always split it, like for children and parents, for girls, and then the hunters. So now it's just going to be one bracket, and I hope that they do this for overseas as well. There wasn't any news about that, but the fact that they're doing it in Japan is very good. So it should at least give us something fun to watch online together, because some of the hunters that turn out for this are really good. And then they wrapped up the event talking about Deviljho, which of course I showed you at the beginning because they appended it to the trailer in the West, but I cannot wait. Deviljho is such a great monster. It actually made it on my top 5 monsters, which is a video I recently made. And yeah, I mean, for existing people who already know the game, Deviljho has a very unstoppable appetite. It'll get to the point where it'll eat its own tail after it's been severed. So they said they have some really interesting new moves for it, and some new gimmicks, and sort of like the way that they express its hunger in this game, they said, is a little bit different than they've done in past games. From the trailer, my guess is that it will pick up a monster and hit you with it. Like maybe he picks up the Great Jagras and like swings it at you. I have no idea. But Deviljho is going to be a super ultra aggressive hard monster. That is going to be fun watching people on Twitch stream and try to take it down. I don't know, what do you guys think about all the news? I think the Elder Dragon trailer was amazing. I think it's perfect for being the final trailer before launch. Loved all the news. The DLC looks great. The products in Japan look great. I don't know what to say. I'm beyond hyped. I'm just yeah. Now next week, Famitsu did say that they're going to have Monster Hunter World. I'm sure it's just going to be official renders of Teostra and Kushala and all the stuff that we saw today. So I'll probably not do a video of it unless there's new news, but I will post it in pictures on my Twitter, so follow me at AEVanko if you haven't already. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, happy hunting.